Hey, it's Chris with Chris's Comments. It's Sunday, July 17th. I am exhausted and I'm tired and I'm hot because it's hot out here in San Antonio, Texas. But some stuff has come up and I just, got to throw my comments out there. This is concerning that abortion issue. Texas sues to block Biden from requiring doctors to provide abortions in medical emergencies, okay? Not so much provide abortions, but provide abortions in medical emergencies, okay? Ken Paxton, the Texas Attorney General, big surprise, in a lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Texas, argued that the federal law does not confer a right to an abortion and asked to block the Biden administration's requirement that physicians and hospitals provide abortions in medical emergencies. The suit comes after Secretary Xavier Becerra of the Health and Human Services warned hospitals and physicians that they are required to provide abortions in medical emergencies where it is a necessary treatment to protect the life of the pregnant woman, which explains a lot, giving the opposers, starting with Ken Paxton. The Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act preempts state laws that restrict abortion access in emergency situations. Hospitals and physicians who refuse to comply could have their medical provider agreements terminated and face financial penalties. Okay. Paxton says, so in other words, if they refuse it in a medical emergency, this could be trouble for the hospitals. Paxton says the law does not mandate any specific treatment, arguing that the HHS requirement is unlawful and unconstitutional and unenforceable, which technically that's not true. The stuff has already been written out. It's already been passed through bills and all this good stuff. It's irrelevant as to whether or not it's frowned upon by any state, let alone by this guy Paxton. Okay, Texas made abortion illegal under a law from 1925. The ban is enforced right now through fines and lawsuits. Texas passed another law, in 2021, which makes performing an abortion a felony punishable by up to life in prison. Okay, now here's the thing: the ban makes an exception if a licensed physician determines that the woman faces a life-threatening physical condition. This is from as far back as 1925. So where Ken Paxton is coming up saying that it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and that the mandate is not specified for this kind of treatment. Where Paxton is coming from, I don't know. Because so far, even in the state of Texas, this mandate, this exception is existent. President Joe Biden issued an executive order last week directing HHS to take action to protect access to abortion. Becerra's warning that physicians and hospitals are required to provide abortions in medical emergencies is the most concrete step the administration has taken so far to protect access to the procedure. That's true. The court did this thing and Biden has frowned at everybody, but he's declaring he's made that one solid step that if it's a medical emergency, you gotta have it performed. Which leads to Republicans doubt a 10-year-old had to travel for an abortion. And the Repugs respond to the 10-year-old abortion case by targeting immigrants. Okay. Now, let me just go on with it. Republicans appear to be less sure about how they feel or even surprised that a 10-year-old could biologically get pregnant. One of the Republicans, and of course this is one from Texas, Republican Roger Williams, where's the conversation about an illegal person doing this? How do you defend this guy who came over illegally and we've got about 5 million of them over here? Okay, and that's aside from That's aside from Republicans that are saying, oh gosh, I didn't write her name down. There's this one woman that wrote down, that made a claim. She can't imagine how a 10-year-old could biologically get pregnant. Women, females, have been getting biologically pregnant for the longest time. To say that it's unimaginable is just 100% out in the open ignorance and or denial and or both in the name of standing their ground, which is not even worth standing around. They have no solid leg to stand on. To say I don't believe a 10-year-old can get pregnant, I find it hard to imagine that. That's not, you know, that's not an excuse, people. And then to say, well, why aren't we looking at the immigrant? Well, the immigrant got caught and he confessed. So what's to look at? He's already been punished. What's to look at? You know, I don't understand. No, I do understand. Representative Roger Williams of Texas, this guy is trying to divert the attention away from the issue, the actual issue of abortion, that it is a mandatory, needed procedure. You know, especially when it comes to emergencies, medical emergencies. And all of that is still working on Biden. You know, Biden is the responsible for all of this happening. Well, no, not really. Biden is doing that one thing of making sure that a medical emergency stays in place, regardless as to whether or not it says, I don't want to say luxurious, but it's as privileged to do it any old time the way Republicans are proclaiming. Okay? Which leads to the next subject. And I'm not gonna stay thorough on this because everybody's already made up their mind. They're either the douchebags who see this 10-year-old abortion case along with all the other abortion incidences, or they see the people who are backing up the victims, who are actually standing up for them and for everybody else to have this right to as an abortion for healthcare, as abortion is part of healthcare. Okay, everybody's made up their minds. Moving on to Biden, people are disappointed in him. I'm asking why. You know, because the gas prices. Well, he brought in this gas tax holiday that is responsible for all the lowering prices, and everybody's saying, well, it's not good enough. True. There's more that can be done. But he's doing everything that he can. He went to Venezuela. They said no. He went to the Middle East. They said no. He sold some of the oil reserves to Europe, bringing in money to relieve everything financially. And everybody's saying, no, that's not good enough. Well, what is good enough? I can tell you, it's what I've been saying this entire time. That they stopped trying to get the Keystone Pipeline reopened, the thing that's bringing in 700,000 barrels a day, and losing a third of it, and destroying our climate and our land and waters. Okay, the oil companies could stop trying to reopen that pipeline and get their asses back to work and reopen up refineries and reopening refineries and building new ones. They've made enough money already. They can do 100 of them, but they're not going to, because it's their greed that's telling them to go march all the way to Washington and say, we need the pipeline open, or we need Russian oil, which is just mind-blowing. And then they're over here, they're accepting oil from Russia, which is this dictatorship, whatever the hell, horrible leaders. Not so much the country, it's their leaders that are doing this crap, attacking the Ukraine, the way they did Crimea, the way they did Bosnia, the way they did Croatia, the way they did Herzegovina. I can't pronounce that damn name. They attack. What's my question is, why are we spending on Biden, and why are we relying on oil companies who are relying on a country that's doing all these evasions? They can't produce any oil from themselves unless they attack all these other Eastern European countries. What the hell? That doesn't make any sense. And it sure as hell doesn't make these oil companies all American. No, not by a long shot. Speaking of oil companies here in the Americas, Biden, if he really has to do business with other countries, he should stick with it here in the Americas. Canada all the way down to Venezuela. He should just stick with the oil being transferred and all this with Venezuela. But and seeing as how he's doing this, you know, everybody says, well, you can't do it with the Saudis because they're the inhumane people who kill journalists. Okay. Now, he went over there to try to reason with the Saudis and to work on humanitarian stuff, propositions. But what happened was that he just plain got rejected. Now he's got to come back. There's no other countries that he can turn to. So I say, in my opinion, this is where I'm veering off from the facts and just throwing in my opinion, my comment. Stick to the Americas. Go right back to Venezuela. Go right back to Mexico. Go right back to Canada and work a deal out. We have enough funds to throw in $200-300 billion, $400 billion to Ukraine to help fight them off. We got the ammunition, we've got the missiles, we've got all that good stuff, and the humanitarian stuff. We could do the same here in the Americas, working a deal with the oil companies and fuel companies and say, look, we're willing to buy off you. All you got to do is treat your employees fairly and stop with the suppression crap where all the people who are reduced down to nothing, going broke, down to poverty, have no choice but to come here. Take them back, give them jobs, use this invested money that we've got to do that with. I really don't see how that's a problem for Biden to try to do. You know, there might be some catches, I'm not really sure. But there is a way, you know. And that's aside from the fact that he still has to get our oil and fuel companies up and running again. They've closed down refineries from as far back as the COVID pandemic. They've laid off a bunch of people. They shut down refineries. They're still sitting around collecting dust. They haven't been reopened. They haven't been used. And the only thing they're doing is going over to Congress saying, well, we need money. We need money to open this stuff up. We don't have the motivation to try to do this. And this is all 7 major companies. ExxonMobil, Chevron, British Petroleum, Phillips 66, I'm forgetting another one, Shell Company. These are all the major companies, and the ones that I just can't remember right now. These are all the major companies that have the capability of just simply reopening if they quit their complaining and quit their crying and reinvest in their own refineries. Okay? We got to stand true. We got to stay put. Everybody's saying, oh, we're so disappointed in Biden. He can't be president no more. Yeah, but nobody's really labeling anybody that can. Nobody's really stepping up to the plate. You know why? Because nobody wants to take the bull crap that's being thrown at him, at Biden. Okay? The only people that are people like Trump, who just want to say, this is what's going on, everything's okay, believe me. And that's just not cutting it. We got so many problems over here, and a lot of people that are in charge of their own particular hills, their own particular industries, not cooperating, and yet you and I are being told, it's all Biden. Well, it's all Biden's fault. Look at what he did. This is all what he did. You see what I'm saying? We got to stand our ground. We got to stay true right now with Biden. We got to vote for everybody that's on the same side. They don't have to exactly like him, but they have to be on the same side, because it's those, like here in Texas, we got this guy Beto O'Rourke who's wanting to take our electrical grid and connect it with the national grid, you know, which means wherever it falls somewhere there, we have to bear the burden of boosting them out, helping them out, and vice versa. So we don't have these power grid failures that killed 200 plus people just to, you know, just for the sake of being the Lone Star State electric grid. I like it that way, but what's the point of having it that way if we can't maintain our own way? This guy, Beto O'Rourke, he's not on the same side as Biden. He spat on some of the things that Biden has done. But at the same time, he wants all the insurance and health care for everybody. You know, he doesn't like what Biden has done, but he wants fuel and economic and stuff like that, oil to be, prices to be down. He wants the gas problem to be handled. He may not know how to do it, but looking at what Biden's doing, I think those are pretty good signs that he can follow. You know, Biden's standing his ground. He's going over to people. I'm going to tell the companies, lower your gas prices. I'm going to pull out the reserves. The gas prices lowered a little bit. I'm going to give this 3-month gas tax holiday. The gas tax holiday is providing lower prices right now as we speak. But the 3 months is almost, we're in 1.5 months right now, where he's trying, while he's doing that, he's trying to work a deal with another country. They're saying no. He's trying to work a deal with another country. He's saying no. He sold some oil to Europe, who's cut off Russia also. So he's brought some cash back. You know, there shouldn't be any reason. There's no excuses. And now, after all these countries said, no, we don't want to do humanitarian needs. We don't want to serve humanitarian needs. We only want to support the greed of our people and all this good stuff, and leave everybody else impoverished. You know, we're not doing business with you, Biden. So now there is no more excuses. There is no more excuses for the oil and fuel industry to say, well, we need more money. Well, you can't have any more money. Well, we need the oil from Russia or any other foreign country. You can't have the oil from Russia. Besides, it's not Russian oil anyway. It's Ukrainian oil. It's Crimean oil. It's Bosnian oil. It's Croatian oil. It's Ukrainian oil. You can't have it. It's not Russian oil anyway. And we can't do stuff with the Middle East. Everybody opposed it. The oil and fuel companies have no more excuses. They're running out of excuses. All that's left is Biden to stand his ground and not let them have, you know, $80 billion or $20 billion, $200 billion to restart the oil thing, which technically is just reopening the Keystone Pipeline. No excuses. Biden closed that down for a reason. It was destroying our lands. It was destroying our water. Every pipeline that is established right now is going through areas that nobody knows where it's breaking and cracking, because it's in remote locations. Plus, it's dug tunneled underneath our lakes and rivers, just like even one of the Great Lakes. It's dug under one of the Great Lakes. There's no ocean underneath that. Everybody thinks that all the water leads straight to an ocean or connected or whatever. That's why they think Texas is floating. That if there's a shift in the earth, Texas will drop into the ocean, just like Mexico and all this crap. There's a bunch of drought wells and emptied wells and all this good stuff that says, no, there's rock underneath our water. There is no connection to the ocean. Same thing with the Great Lakes. There's a tunnel with an oil pipeline under there, and it's been seeping through the earth into the Great Lake, one of those Great Lakes. Just like the way, because it shifts. It's anchored into the earth shifts, the pipeline cracks. It leaks, it breaks, sometimes breaks completely. And the same thing is with this Keystone Pipeline. $600,000, 600,000 barrels, and we lose a third of it. So, you know, this is garbage of what the oil companies want. And then to top it all off, they all want it tax-free because they're not paying taxes anyway. And they want to pay with interest. They want to get paid with interest. You know, they want, and any kind of changes, they want we the people to pay for it. We gotta stand by Biden. Okay? We just gotta stand. He's the only one standing his ground. And looking back at all the other presidents, technically he's the first one standing his ground. He's also the only one handling COVID. Everybody else thinks it's a damn hoax. Novavax, new COVID vaccine, is perfect for people scared of the mRNA tech. But it won't win over the unvaccinated. In other words, everybody's still... Honestly, I think Biden should still bring up all these vaccines and just give it to us, we the people who want it. Okay? I want it. I'm tired of this two-part bullshit, two-part vaccination. I had the Johnson & Johnson 1 year. The following year, I only had the first shot. The second shot, I was told that it was the booster to the Johnson & Johnson. 3 months later, I got COVID again. So I went ahead and got the second shot. No, I got the first shot of 2 all over again. Okay? And I went back a month later, this past June, and they said, sorry, CDC says nobody gets it unless you're over 50 or 50 or over. Now I'm 49. I'm going to be 50 very, very soon. So what's the problem? They said no. So I've been rejected. I swear to God, if I get COVID again, I'm going to hurt somebody. Or I'm just going to take both dosages at the same time, even if I have to get it forcefully. But that's just if it happens. I'll take this damn Novax. I'll take the mRNA, excuse me, the mRNA. I'm going to take it by force, and I'm going to take it out of their doctor's hands, and I'm going to beat up whoever tries to get in front of me. And I'm just going to go one arm, get the other one, 2 arms, and then move on. Why? Because that's exactly what I've been testifying since the beginning. My body is used to vaccinations. My body is used to immunizations. My body is used to allergy shots. My body is used to every single whatever it is. And I don't even like needles. I can't stand needles. I can get hit by a car, but I could get hit by a car and I'm jumping back up, getting ready to fight the sack of shit. I'm punching it at his window, trying to bust through it, while they're speeding away after they just got done hitting me. But I get one little needle prick and I am just choking back on the tears. I don't like needles. I don't like them. You know, thank God I'm not a heroin addict. I'd be in so much pain. I'd be in so much pain, I'd need that heroin to remove it. So, anyway. Finally, we got to stand our ground with Biden, okay? He's the only one that's doing this shit with COVID. In fact, it was those order-at-home COVID tests that actually got it, that actually detected the COVID this last time around. He's the only one that's helping out people. There's no candidate that's running for presidency yet. And even if there was, even though this is the midterms, and I get that, but nobody's stepping up right now. Nobody's saying I'll be up there for 2024. Nobody's saying that. Why? Because they can't. They don't know how to handle this crap. Biden does, sure, because he was with Obama. He knows exactly what it's like to push on, no matter how much is spitting on him. He knows exactly that. He took the pages out of the playbook of Obama, and it's just going on. The only thing that I wish he was doing was a lot more creative production, because right now everything is foreseeable. He's doing everything in his power right now to where the oil and fuel industries have no more excuses. He's doing everything in his power right now to where the unvaccinated and those that believe it's a hoax have no more excuses. He's doing everything right now to make sure that the abortion, there's going to be no more excuses as to saying why it can't be done. He's starting right now with just the emergencies only and taking it from there. Okay? He's the only one that's really going through this. no matter how many doors keep getting slammed in him. He's the only one that's going through this, no matter how many distractions they do it, to where he finally gets visual, clear visibility. He runs right smack into a wall. He's the only one that's really doing anything right now. You know, to hell with everybody and their critics. And I can pretty much stem that from outside the political ring into an octagon. I saw a little tidbit this morning. UFC employees rips off the China flag off the shoulders of Li Jingliang after his second round TKO win over Muslim Salikov. Okay. This Chinaman wanted a fight, and he holds up his Chinese flag. Yay! All proud of himself. Some employee of the UFC rips it off. I was also told by somebody that the same thing happened to a Jamaican contender. And this is the BS that I'm trying to clarify in my comment section. Instead of going, oh, I am shocked, and clearly it's discrimination, and Dana White is discriminative, and he's a racist that's getting out of hand, and all this stuff. He falls in that category, but he's more than likely going under the BS. As sure as he's got friends from other countries, he's falling under the BS hype rhetoric that you should shun the flag instead of the people that are running the countries that flag represent. Okay? And that makes more sense, because you never saw him spitting on Trump, the guy that was running this country straight to hell. You don't see him going after spitting on Xi Jinping, the Winnie the Pooh guy over in Korea. You know, you don't see him spitting on those guys. You know, he likes leaders like that. I guess, I'm assuming. I think he'll actually go down on them if he ever meets them in person. But he's not supposed to like them. He's not supposed to like hate-driven leaders of whatever country. Hate inspiring through anger and greed in whatever country. Okay? You're not supposed to inspire that. You're not supposed to like people that inspire those. That Asian guy, I mean, unless he's saying hail CCP, hail to the Chinese Communist Party, you know, he shouldn't have any problems waving a Chinese flag, because it's not China that's bringing the problem. As I've stated before in the Stop the Asians post, you're hating the wrong people post. You know, unless that guy is hailing the Chinese Communist Party, he should have every right to wave the Chinese flag. Unless that Jamaican was hailing a corrupt, well, not a corrupt, but like a cartel, a Jamaican cartel, if I can get away with saying that, a Jamaican mafia criminal organization, okay? Unless he was hailing a criminal organization in the name of Jamaica, then no, yeah, he shouldn't have that flag removed. He should be able to hold up that flag no differently than we with an American flag would, or a Texan flag. You know, unless he's promoting some kind of hate organization, he shouldn't be holding that up in the air. And now if he's not, then yeah, let him do it. Let him do it. This is the UFC, which is mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts is the mixing of martial arts from all over the world. Okay? So it doesn't make any sense to remove somebody's proud national flag. Okay? Especially when it's not the nation that's doing stuff. It's the people that are in control of it that are. You didn't see anybody from Fresh Off the Boat television show join the Chinese army, military, to invade and dictate over Hong Kong. You don't see Ali Wong joining the fight to take over Taiwan. You don't see her telling everybody, mind your own effing business. You know? Kelly Hu. Anybody. Any actor that I just really can't think of right now because I'm just really tired. It's Sunday and I would rather relax instead of be on my lunch break working working, you know, when I'm not on my lunch break. You know, you don't see anybody doing that kind of crap. We do see, however, the Chinese Communist Party creating a lot of crap for everybody else. Now, again, if this Zhiliang, you know, is a proud Chinaman, let him be a proud Chinaman. If he's not promoting the Chinese Communist Party, let him be a proud Chinaman. It's just downright stupid to let that interfere. To let that be the interference with mixed martial arts. Somebody that's just being proud of his nation, or proud of coming from that nation, you know, instead of being upset at somebody who's evaded. We wouldn't tolerate a Nazi flag. We would, however, be tolerant of a German flag. And this is what I'm trying to get at. I wish I really had thought of that first. We don't tolerate a CCP flag. We tolerate the China flag. You know? We don't tolerate a Vladimir Putin on a horse flag. We don't tolerate anything with the Kremlin on it. We tolerate the Russian flag. Okay? We're not tolerating Winnie the Pooh. Oh, excuse me. The leader of China. We're not tolerating... Winnie the Pooh is fine. It's that China guy, the Chinese president, you know, that's running the freaking country so horrible through the CCP. You know, we don't tolerate Ching Jong Kim Il Ching Khalil, whatever the hell, this North Korea. But if there's a fighter coming out of North Korea that isn't a part of the leader's bullshit oppressive regime, you know, a non-regime member, then yeah, it's fine. You know, we don't show it's okay for some KKK flag to be waved. You know, some white power WP, you know, emblem. We don't tolerate that shit from a fighter. It's okay if he waves the American flag. Or even a state flag in America. You know, proud to be from New Jersey. You know, fine. You know, Arkansas proud. Okay, you know. Yeah, but you know, American heritage, no. American Front, no. No criminal organizations. No organizations of hate. No anger-fueled bullshit belief in the name of hate in the name of God. So no Westboro Church flags, okay? No. If the guy is not representing some hate organization, criminal organization, some underground organization, you know, let him wave the flag. Let him wave his nation's flag. So that's my spiel. Hope everybody out there is staying safe. Hope y'all are doing fine. I do apologize for all of this exhaust that I'm expressing. All my yawnings. So, we'll catch you later. This is Chris with Chris's Comments signing out.